Hey guys, you are watching this video because you need to see how to start your coiled project. I demoed in the Google Meet we had this morning. If you weren't at that Google Meet, you weren't able to make it, you need to watch this video. So I'm going to be talking about your vase project today and how to begin it. First, there are some new notes and some requirements and some sketching you need to do. So we're going to watch this video or this PowerPoint first, and then I'm going to demo how to begin. So this is your last project for ceramics class. It is the coiled vessel. The notes that you're taking today will be part of what you have to photograph and turn in for your points today. So these are your last 8 terms for my class. So please take a couple minutes to write this down. I'm going to elaborate on a few of these things in a minute or two. Also, maybe if you have your phone handy, if I finish this before you're done writing, snap a picture so then you can finish writing it at your leisure. So I'll give you a minute or two though to write. All right, I'm going to elaborate on a few of these terms and go ahead and keep writing. If I finish and you're not done writing, just snap a picture. Okay, so term number 1 is coil building. That's what you're going to be doing for the next 4 or 5 days. It is building a hollow pot by rolling and stacking ropes of clay. It's an extremely versatile building technique because you can build almost any shape you can imagine by using coils, things that the wheel could never give you. So it's a great way for us to finish up, really utilizing your skills of controlling the clay and scoring and slipping and melding. Term number 2 is plane. A plane is a 2-dimensional surface, but we're going to refer to it in terms of 3 dimensions because we're making 3-dimensional objects. So we're going to talk about 2 kinds of planes, convex planes and concave planes. Just like in science class, a convex plane, much like a convex lens, is a curved 2-dimensional surface that bulges outward. So it pops out. And that's going to apply to your vase because there are going to be areas of your vase that bulge outward to become wider in that area. And so we want to be able to know that that is a convex plane. A concave plane is a curved 2-dimensional surface that slopes inward. I always remember that a concave surface slopes in like a cave goes into a mountain. It goes in. So you're going to have areas of your vase that slope inward and are concave and get narrower. So your vase that you create is going to have convex and concave planes. Your vase is also going to be a form. A form is a 3-dimensional object, and really everything you have done in this class has been a form. We just really haven't labeled it as such. Form is a fancier word of saying shape, and it's more accurate because we're talking about a 3-dimensional thing, and a shape can really apply to a 2-dimensional or flat thing. So we're building forms, 3-dimensional. Term number 6 is vessel. A vessel is a 3D object meant to hold something. And you've made vessels already too. Your animal lidded jar was a vessel that you could hold your pocket change or your jewelry or a plant. And so again, we've made vessels already, but vessel, we haven't really used that word. Now we just want to use that more sophisticated language. We're creating coiled vessels that are going to be vases that will hold flowers. Term number 7 is engobe. Engobe is a colored clay slip used to decorate the surface of an unfired pot. So it's really the same slip that you made when you slaked your clay, except that this engobe, this slip, I have made from porcelain. You heard about porcelain in our wheel history video. So I use porcelain and I slake it down to make a really bright white slip. And then I add pigment to it. So there's all different colors of engobe. Everybody out there has a different color. You just have whatever color you happen to be given in your swag bag. And that's what you're going to be using on your vase to add a design. Final term is sgraffito. It's a Latin term that's fun to say, sgraffito. Sgraffito is a term that means scratching a fine, detailed design on leather hard clay by carving through a thin layer of colored engobe. So sgraffito is just one of the techniques you might use on your vase with your engobe. And sgraffito, I like to compare it to scratchboard drawing. If you've ever done one of those drawings where the paper is black, and then you use a sharp tool to scratch through the blackness, and then you see like rainbow or metallic or white wherever you've scratched, that's what sgraffito is. So we're going to be painting this thin layer of color over your pot, and then you can take a sharp tool like a toothpick and then scratch through it. So you get these nice, fine, sharp, detailed designs, just like a scratch board. So if you didn't get all 8 of these terms, please take a photo so you can finish doing the terms at your leisure. Okay. So this is what you're going to see yourself doing a lot. This week, you're going to be rolling these coils of clay. They're going to be about the thickness of your pointer finger. And then you're going to be stacking those coils, scoring, slipping, and melding. We are not going to see the coils like you see here. We're going to meld the inside, but we're also going to meld the outside. So the outside is really smooth. And then that way, that gives you a better surface to paint on. So you've heard me talk about parts of the pot as they are named after parts of the human body. Like you've learned about foot and you've learned about lip. So I just want to mention to you that there are going to be parts of your pot that are also named after other parts of the human body. So the fattest part of your vase, the part that holds the water to keep your flowers alive, that's called the body or sometimes the belly of the pot because it's the fattest part of the pot. The part of your pot that slopes inward is called the shoulder. That's a concave plane that slopes inward. Just like on our bodies, our shoulders slope inward towards our neck. The neck is the narrowest upper part of the vase. And so that's what's going to hold all the flower stems together. And then the lip traditionally is a part of the pot that flares out just a little bit up at the top so that the heads of the flowers can come out in a nice little bouquet up at the top of the vase. So these are the classic vase proportions. This is a Greek vase, and kind of our modern day vases are very much modeled after Greek vases. And so you might choose to have your pot have these same kind of proportions with the convex and concave planes. Here are some other examples of vases, though. These are more modern. The one on the left, the far left, that's by Roberto Lugo. He's the guy that you heard about in the wheel history video. And his vase is very definitely based upon those Greek proportions with the big belly, sloping shoulder, narrower neck, and then flared out lip. These other ones are a little bit more modern. You can see some of them have virtually no neck, very little lip, but it's still there. There's still the convex and the concave. There's still a hint of a neck, a hint of a lip. So when you're designing and creating your vase, there's a lot of flexibility and leeway about what you want your vase to look like. So I'll be asking you to do some sketching here in a little bit. And so if any of these on your screen kind of appeal to you, maybe you want to do some sketching based on what you've seen here. All of these, by the way, make use of engobe too. So you can see that you can use the engobe really simply just by doing some lines. You can use the engobe really complexly by painting a more elaborate design. So it's really up to you how detailed you want to go with the engobe. Here are some more vases that kind of have that classic vase proportion. One of them is a Greek vase. The other two are more modern. And these all have handles. You do not have to put handles on this project, but you certainly could. It just gives it a little bit more focal point. So that is a perfectly fine option. You can score, slip, and meld handles if you wish. Now, one of the things I'm going to throw out there, just as a crazy, quirky idea, if you want to make your vase into a sweater vase or a shirt vase, it kind of has this fun little sense of humor to it, because where the flowers would go, that's where the head would go if it was a real sweater. So I got this idea from this sweater vase by Milo Behringer, who's a potter I follow on Instagram. I just thought it was really fun, really quirky. And since we're moving into the winter time, I thought it would be a cozy little vase that that could be made that would be reminiscent of this time that we're living in. You could decorate it to become like an ugly holiday sweater if you wanted to. You could have a lot of fun with it, I think. So that is an option. And even though it's a non-traditional vase shape, it still has convex and concave planes. It still has a body and a shoulder, literally, and a neck. So it still qualifies very much as a vase. Okay, so draw a line under those 8 vocabulary words that you wrote down, please. And then write down these 4 requirements, please. So these are the things I want you to have at the forefront of your mind as you're beginning and working on this project, because this is what I'm going to be grading you on. So first, you do need to have convex and concave planes. That means the form needs to go in and out at least a little bit. So you can show me that you can control where the coils go and how the form moves in and out. Next requirement, this thing needs to be built by scoring, slipping, and melding the coils inside and out. So it's going to be smooth on the inside, smooth on the outside. Next requirement, this vase needs to be at least 8 inches tall and 4 inches wide. It can certainly be bigger if you want to go big, but that is the minimum that I'm going to look for. And when you record your video to turn this in your video, part of what you're going to have to show me is a ruler or a tape measure next to your vase so you can verify for me that it is at least 8 inches tall. I'm not too worried about the 4 inches wide. I don't think anybody's going to make anything super duper skinny because it'd fall over. But the 8 inches tall is something I'm going to be very specifically looking for. And then finally, your surface will have to have a design that you paint on using the engobes that you have in your swag bag. And you're going to learn more about that at a later time. And there's going to be easier things you can do with engobe if you're nervous because you're not really so comfortable painting. There's going to be more complex things you can do if you really do like to paint. So it's really a matter of your comfort level. As long as you're doing some kind of pattern around the pot, you're going to get your points for that. So if you need more time to copy down these requirements, please snap a picture of this so that you can finish writing this at your leisure. Okay, so you have 2 activities that you need to do today, and then you're going to take 1 photo of those 2 activities. So on this page where you just took your notes and just wrote the requirements, I'm going to ask that you sketch 3 to 5 ideas for what you might want to make for this vase. And you know, just do the best you can with your sketches. This isn't drawing class, but in your sketches, I do want to see the form of it. I want to see the convex and concave. I want to see if you're going to put handles on it. I want to see what your surface design might be. What might you paint on with the engobe? And your ideas can certainly change. I'm 100% okay with your ideas evolving and changing, and your final piece doesn't have to look exactly like your drawings. I just want you to have a game plan. So I want you to come up with at least 3 sketches and draw this on the bottom of this page where you put your notes. And then that is part of what you're going to be photographing and turning in today. So don't photograph it yet. You're going to be putting something else in the photo. So you can work on your sketches when we're done. I'm going to show you your second activity for today. Your second activity is to actually start making the vase, but all you're going to make today is the bottom, the base, and that's actually not going to be coiled at all. So you're going to get an orange-sized piece of clay and wedge it at your wedging canvas at your house. You're going to flatten it using the diagonal throwing method. So you're going to make a slab of clay. And if you're a hybrid kid, you don't know this technique, but I'm going to show you the technique in my demo here in a second. This is going to be the bottom of your project. So then you're going to find something to trace that will make the bottom of your vase. And if you're going to make a traditional vase, maybe that bottom is just going to be a circle. And that would be an easy thing to find around your house, to find a circle that's a good size, put that on your slab, and then cut it out. If you're going to make the sweater vase, that requires a little bit different base, and I'll show you how to do that in my demo. Once you've cut out your bottom with a toothpick, smooth the edges with a sponge, re-wedge any extra clay that you have and put it back in your good clay bag, because I don't want you to run out of clay. So we need to save and use every bit of clay that we can. And then you're going to put your slab on your tray, your wooden tray, put it next to your notes for today, and that's what you're going to take a picture of. One picture that has your notes, your sketches, and your slab base in the picture. So that's how I can see that you did all the things you were supposed to do today. That's worth 20 points, and you're going to upload that to Schoology. Then take that slab base, put a wet paper towel on it, put it in a bag, and then let that sit at your table till tomorrow. We want to make sure that it stays nice and pliable in the plastic or leather hard stage till tomorrow, when you actually start making your coils and building them. Great. All right, so now you're ready for your first step of making the beginning of your vase. So you're going to need about an orange-sized amount of clay. Wedge it at your home wedging canvas station. Pre-flatten it with the heel of your hand so it's about an inch thick. And then to make this be a slab, a uniform thickness slab without the luxury of a slab roller, here's what you do. You take that pre-flattened slab and you're going to throw a different leading edge, a different edge of the slab forward diagonally away from you each time you throw it. So you're going to throw this repeatedly, and you're going to be turning the slab each time you throw it. So you're going to be throwing it away from yourself like that, and that's going to stretch the clay away from you. So now this was the side that was leading. Now I need to reverse that, and I'm going to throw the opposite side to be the leading side, and it's going to stretch my clay. Now I did these two sides. Now I'm going to do this shorter side. This really needs to be stretched a lot. Okay, good. Now I'm going to do this side. This needs to be stretched a lot, and I'm going to keep throwing diagonally and stretching, and I'm always having a different leading edge. And eventually it's going to give me a really uniform slab of clay. We want it to be about a ½ inch thick, okay? All right, so that's pretty consistent now. That's about ½ inch. Okay, now if I'm just going to do a classic vase shape, the only shape I need is a circle to be able to cut out the base of my project. So then I would just find something that's circular around your house that's approximately the size you want the bottom of your vase to be. So I'm just going to use this little shape right here, and I'm going to use my toothpick, and I'm going to cut out that shape. And then I would put that on my wooden tray, and then put it next to your notes for today. Like, this is your assignment. You're going to snap one photo that shows me your cutout base, your notes, and your sketches, your 3 to 5 ideas for this project, all in one picture, please. So this is the base you would use if you're going to do a traditional vase, and then that would go on your tray, damp paper towel, seal that up in a bag so it stays plastic stage or leather hard stage for tomorrow, because you're not going to be joining anything to this today. You're going to be coiling tomorrow. Now, if you're going to do the sweater vest or the sweater vase, you need to make a template for that, because you're not going to find anything that's that unique shape around your house. So I just folded a sheet of paper in half 2 times, 1, 2, and then drew this shape that's like a small bump and then a big bump. And then when I open it up, this becomes the shape for my sweater vase. So I'm going to cut that out too. I'm going to work on 2 vases for each of my hours of ceramics A. So that means I'm going to be making 6 vases by the end of this week. So the least I can expect is for you guys to make 1 vase, right? I just broke my toothpick, rats. Okay, so now here's my sweater base, and now I would coil upon that. So if this is the shape you want to make, then photograph that next to your notes, put it on your tray, wet paper towel, sealed up bag, save it for tomorrow, okay? Doesn't matter to me which one you do, just make sure you do one of them today. Then any additional clay that you have, this is a precious resource now, so we don't want you to run out of clay. So re-wedge that clay to get it all nice and consistent again, and then put this back in your bag of good clay, the clay that you could use to tomorrow start rolling some coils. So that is it for today. Your one assignment is to take a single photo that has your base and your notes and your sketches all together in one shot. Upload that to Schoology for 20 points by 10 p.m. Okay, that's it. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Come to our Google Meet tomorrow. It's your attendance.